guys ready?
Yes.
Sorry. After the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday, August 26, 2025 Board of Commissioners meeting. We'll start with the consent agenda.
Approval of payroll, August 15th, 2025. Approval of claims, August 7th, August 14th, and August 21st, 2025. Approval of minutes, August 5th, 2025. Weights and Measures Monthly Report, June 16th through July 15th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Announcements. I have an announcement that I'd like to make in regard to this issue of the data center. And bear with me, folks. I spent the better part of a weekend writing this thing, so anyway, we'll start here. Over the past few months, the proposed data center in Union Township has prompted hundreds of our residents to share their concerns with the Board of Commissioners. From the very beginning, the leadership of this board has processes for decisions regarding this project. During these many months, county government has consistently upheld its responsibilities to facilitate the development process while ensuring and encouraging community participation in accordance with the Indiana Code and our own local ordinances. Nevertheless, we acknowledge that the slow and at times frustrating pace has been a source of irritation for all involved, especially those residents living in Union Township. In addition to this frustration, it has been made public that QTS parent companies has a sizable financial interest in Nitsville. After this information was brought to the attention of Commissioner Morales and myself, we paused to carefully consider the implications surrounding this business relationship. While such interests may or may not represent standard business transactions, we understand the desire for transparency regarding this business relationship due to its direct relationship to this project. To date, the Porter County Board of Commissioners has not received a complete response from NIPSCO or QTS concerning this affiliation. This is unfortunate because it has created yet another bevy of questions and concerns associated with this proposal, and it has yet to be satisfactorily explained. This process began at the start of last year. We are now less than a week away from entering the month of September, and we really don't know a little more than we did when this project was first proposed to us last December. To say the communication with this petitioner has been slow coming into our planning commission, our planning department, would be an understatement. Because of this, there has been a growing frustration among our residents that has been allowed to manifest itself to the point that rumors become facts and facts become irrelevant. This is not a good thing. As a matter of fact, this is a very bad thing, because good communication is not only expected, but also tantamount to just about anything else QTS could be providing to the county planning department and our residents at this time. Most county officials understand the economic development benefits of having something as large as a mega data center coming into their county. However, that is not to say that we do not have serious concerns balancing those benefits with other aspects directly associated with our quality of life here in our county, and more directly, Union Township. It would stand to reason that anyone wanting to come into our county to build something as large as a mega-sized data center would understand the value of communicating every detail of their project as early as possible to avoid any misunderstanding about what they were proposing and what value it holds, not only to Porter County government, but to our residents. Our residents have come to appreciate our county and its way of life. We understand that things aren't always perfect, but we are keenly aware of the value and advantages it holds that makes Porter County a great place to live and work. So if you want to come in here and develop something as large as this project is proposed to be, you had better come to the table with something other than the promise of more tax dollars. Do not make the mistake of confusing our need for additional tax revenue with a weakness. As a unit of local government, we are expected to represent the best interests of our residents and businesses who already live here and operate here. It is not county government's responsibility to convince our residents to support it is not county government's responsibility to convince our residents to support this proposal. That responsibility lies solely with the petitioner. My experience on this board has taught me that without exception, good or great ideas are brought into county government with a preponderance of detail, communication, and transparency. Without these three components, it is very difficult for county officials, much less our residents, to support an idea. In closing, given my stated concerns with this project, I believe it is appropriate to move on from it and turn our attention to other county matters that have a greater impact on our residents. So that's my statement. All righty, got that out of the way. I didn't sleep worth a darn last night because of this. In all fairness, any of the commissioners like to make a statement at this time before we move on to the rest of the agenda? Nope? Okay, seeing none.
Thank you for your statement, that was very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's move on here. Commissioners, receive and open bid for early procurement of materials for the County Road 150 South over Cod Ditch Small Structures PR-002 Replacement Project. Mr. Jacob. Anything to add?
I do not. You said it all.
Okay.
The auditor's office received any quotes?
We only received one quote, and the quote is from Ann.
Karen, who is the quote from?
Ann.
McCann Concrete Products, base bid $92,480. I don't believe there's any alternates. $92,480.
This is a project that we're later in the agenda going to ask about bid, but this is for the advanced purchase of the materials so we can expedite and get done this year. And Chris, anything?
That's pretty much it. So.
We would recommend we can take a look at those and report to you at the end of the meeting.
You're back on the agenda in another place on the agenda, correct?
Where
Why don't you take those under advisement and then come back to us with a recommendation?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. An appointment to the West Porter Fire District to complete the term of Guy Cosmati, which will end December 31st, 2025.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Greg Salkowski to the West Porter Township Fire District to complete the term of Guy Cosmati, December 31st, 2025.
Second.
We have a second as well as we have a motion for approval to appoint Greg, what's the correct pronunciation? Salkowski to the West Porter Fire District Board. We have a second for approval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Award bid for exterior and sealant replacement for the Sheriff's Office and Jail. Morning.
Good morning. So So as you know, we did receive several bids that came in through the process for the sealant. We reviewed these bids with the architect, the engineer, and staff. Bids, the lowest and most responsive bidder, and our recommendation is to award the bid to Bergman Construction and approve the contract for the same in the amount of $164,000.
The board will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Thank you. Opiate bankruptcy settlement approval for Purdue Pharma and Sackler family. Who's got some information for that?
Commissioners, that we have been involved with the opioid settlement, and we've been dealing with those funds over some time. This is not just one lawsuit, it's not one claims action out there. We have been used to situations in which individuals that were being sued under this litigation were in bankruptcy, and the bankruptcy courts all have their different rules. In this particular instance, on this settlement, it is required that each municipality who have entered into the opioid settlement make an official action on whether or not to accept the proposed Purdue Pharma and Sackler family BK settlement. I can tell you that it's thousands of communities are involved in it, and it is the recommendation of the attorneys handling the litigation that we enter and agree with this settlement, and those funds would continue to process to the county as they have in the past.
Thank you. Board will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Jeff Lewis, Scheid Hatterley. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, sir. We have a recommendation to install a commercial platform lift below the orchestra platform at the Memorial Opera House, which will be able to raise and lower the platform within minutes. All costs will be covered by the Memorial House Foundation. That's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it?
I would think so. Yeah, I'm here to answer any questions. It's been something that has been in the plan for
Yes.
quite some time, and they've been fundraising for it, so just wanted to make it official that,
I think
we're
it's kind of cool that
going
we're going to move forward, and our many thanks to the Memorial Opera House Foundation for providing the funds for it.
Thank you.
And will that be approved?
Second.
We have a motion as well as a second for approval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. UMR Health Summary Plan Description. Yes, sir.
This would be the, from the last meeting, this is the actual physical written plan summary description that we have to approve every year. It takes the commissioner's signature. It's a follow-up from last meeting's approval on the UMR health plan. This is the required physical written document updated.
Okay. So it needs to be approved by this board?
Correct.
Okay. Any comment by the board? Any motion by the board?
And will that be approved?
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Admin parking garage discussion. Scott?
Yes, we have received, after some discussions between the commissioners and Commissioner Biggs and the city of Valpo concerning the parking garage, I did receive some correspondence from the city indicating a want to continue with the parking arrangement, and I believe that at this point we have the necessities of an agreement to get us to the end of the year with the price, I believe, remaining the same, but in what would be different or in addition to this contract would be some additional parking that would be available around the building during peak times of tax season and things like that that would be added into this agreement to allow for some additional parking here at the building when the building is at its peak times for more than average pedestrian traffic for given reasons that this building has for those influxes. So that was the give and take that we were working through, and hopefully I can have the MOU completed here the next couple of days, proposed to be able to send for your approval, and then we can send it to the city of Valparaiso for their review.
Yes, as the board knows, there was some discussion about raising the cost of the agreement between the county and the city of Valparaiso for the use of the garage at certain times of the year. And this board had increased it, and then I think at an earlier meeting, at least one of the commissioners had reservations about increasing it. And I understand why. But, so I called up Bill Lodi, and he was kind enough to give me the time to discuss with him, you know, look, we're willing to leave the price as it is, but we need something in return here, such as additional parking out front during operational hours of county government. Because often, because downtown Valpo is so popular, our parking spaces are taken up for people shopping or attending some type of other event. It forces people, especially the handicapped, to use the garage, which is not easy for them to negotiate. So anyway, he's agreed to look into that and provide us something at the end of the day. So, and I'm fine with that, so that's where we're at. Okay?
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome, thank you. Skillman projects, jail. Good morning.
Good morning.
You can just start at the top there.
Sure. Pay applications for the jail project, Corellis Roofing, pay app number 9 in the amount of $106,217.68. Area construction, pay app number 4 in the amount of $50,245.50. Pletner Interior Systems, pay app number 3 in the amount of $36,284.59. Stains Painting, pay app number 2 in the amount of $26,842.25. Effie Moran, pay app number 4 in the amount of $214,464.40. Quality Control Systems, pay app number 3 in the amount of $456,847.60. H&T Electrical, pay app number 4 in the amount of $79,739.94.
We can do all these together, correct, Scott?
Yes.
Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Question real quick.
Yes.
Sorry. I don't think you guys even need to be up here, but that's okay. We'll deal with you in a second. Probably should have told you that when you walked in here. Mr. Flair, the director of our highway department, had sent us a photo of some mold in the new garage. I guess it's in the office portion of the new garage. And evidently there was water coming in around the windows.
I'll take a look at that, I haven't seen.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, why don't you reach out to him?
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Definitely will.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have a request to approval of the list of items for the 2025 Porter County auction on Friday, October 17th, 2025. It is a sheriff's auction. Would you like to add anything?
No, sir.
Since you're not going to...
I would. We have 9 vehicles going to auction, numerous bikes, and then I think there's a old sports trailer from animal control also in the auction.
Okay.
3 are hybrids. We got those, I want to say 8 years ago, but we're over on mileage on the warranties on them. They had 100,000 miles or 10 years, and I fixed those. It's just adding up now because we had to dump the battery, the cleaning furnace, and all that.
Yeah.
You're gonna see those probably the next few years, a lot of, projects going on.
Okay. Scott, do they need approval of?
I think they're just informing the board of it, and because we've already approved the auction itself.
Yeah.
So they want to make sure this board has a record of what's going into it, because there are many departments feeding this particular auction based upon the master auction contracts.
There you go. If you'd like to leave, you can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come on.
Thank you. Health Department, Matt Paul, Director. Morning. We have an ordinance establishing a non-reverting fund, Fund 8942, for Geminis Corporation grant for autism elopement kits and free state center classes fund. Briefly, what is, and I mean, and really briefly, we have a bit.
The elopement kits, autistic children, a lot of them like to run, is to keep them in the house and make sure that they don't get out. It's really that brief of thing to keep them.
And you get those for your dog. Okay, no? Go ahead.
And then, Space Center from a Space Center instructor is for kids 6th grade and up, just teaches them like babysitting 101, basically, how to maneuver, stuff like that.
Super. Okay. So we've had the first reading. We'll entertain a motion to approve or not approve the second reading.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion as well as a second for approval. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Thank you. Porter County Museum, Kevin Pazer. How are you, sir?
Good. Good morning.
If you request to use the south side, east side, the southeast side of Courthouse Lawn on Saturday, November 1st, from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. to hold a free event focused on World War II.
Correct.
Cool. Well, of course. Why wouldn't we, right? Get a motion?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion as well as a second for approval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved.
Thank you. You want me to give my 35-minute program now? Oh, it's approved. Okay, well then I guess I could save you some time. Thank you very much.
You notice how they become wise guys after work?
I wasn't gonna allow him to do it.
Expo Center, Lori Daly, how are you, ma'am?
Good, how are you?
Go ahead and just start at the top and
So essentially what I'm doing is cleaning up the budget for the rest of the year. So I'm requesting an additional appropriation for the FICA fund of $7,000.
You can do the additionals at all once.
All at once, okay. And for household and bedding in the amount of $4,000, and also, insurance, building liability, and comp coverage in $7,000.
okay, let's start over. We need to read into the minutes why.
The first one is to cover FICA for the rest of the year for staff. The second one is increase in household and bedding supplies, so toilet paper, cleaning supplies. The third one is our liability insurance skyrocketed.
Imagine that,
Not because of any accidents or anything.
because they can.
They did, yeah. The other one was a transfer, that's separate, isn't it?
Yes, it is, it would be separate. We'll entertain a motion for the 1 through 3 items.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Number 4.
And number 4 is a transfer. I'm sure everybody has seen their water and sewage costs increase dramatically in the last few months, and that's what we saw.
Yes. Yes, as a matter of fact, and let me share this. This is riveting information from our facilities department. Let's see here. Of course, I can't find it just. But the electric bill in the jail had almost doubled.
So for the fair, usually it's pretty substantial for that month, that society pay, it went up, it was like 45% from last year. Pretty extreme.
I don't know how folks are keeping up with it.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. We need another motion for item 4.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Thank you. Jen, Animal Shelter? There she is. We have adopted policy to place a temporary halt on all public drop-offs once the shelter reaches a certain number. Have you given the county attorney this policy?
Yes.
Scott, have you looked at it?
I have.
And what's your opinion?
I think it's reasonable, and I think it's necessary to keep us in line with our contractual obligations with the towns. We have agreements with all of them, and this allows in a clear way to say when we're full and when we are back to being able to do some more of the generalized drop-offs. So I think this is a nice intermediate way to make sure we don't have additional contractual issues with the cities and towns if we find ourselves over capacity.
Absolutely.
And why, tell the public or the record that why being over capacity is not a good thing, other than the obvious.
It puts the health of the animals at risk and also the employees. If the more dogs you have, specifically dogs, cats at this time we don't have a problem with. But with dogs, the more you have, the more difficult it becomes to care for all of them properly. And what I'm trying to avoid with, reason for this policy is to avoid having to house animals in pop-up crates in hallways or bathrooms or offices, and that's what a lot of shelters across the country are seeing right now happen. Because we've had such a surge in intake in the last few years. I think we're at like 21% increase in intake.
Since COVID.
Since COVID, yeah.
Thinking you got all that time to spend at home, well, I'll just go get a puppy.
I think it's not just COVID. I think part of it is also just the economical climate that we're in right now. Having a pet is more costly, and there are more people that want to get rid of animals than adopt. So we have more coming in than going out. So this policy will hopefully slow that down a little bit, so that we have time to get some animals out before bringing additional animals in.
All right. Scott, do we need an ordinance number for this, or?
No, this is just an internal policy based upon the director, and brought it to the commissioners for your approvals. It's not necessarily a written policy. It's not a written ordinance. It's the internal policy that allows this board to approve, and if it needs to be modified in the future, it's a little bit more fluid.
Okay. Entertain a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Item number 2, go ahead, Jen.
This is our right family trust consent, so apparently the shelter is being left 25% of a residual trust from the family. And there's just a consent of a waiver that I'm in search of approval to sign.
And the consent is consenting to the administration of the trust as it is written. In other words, if we had an objection, this would be our time to object. In reviewing the documents, we have no reason to object to the administration of the trust as it was written. So as an heir, the county needs to approve the consent for the administration of the trust.
And we have at this time no idea what the value of.
Not yet, no.
Okay. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. E911, Debbie Dunn, Director. Shelby Products, a contractual lease agreement for 7 concept seating, 24/7 chairs in the amount of $12,852 to be paid out of E911's budget. You obviously have room for your budget for this.
Well,
It was actually presented as I have a line item built into the budget, the Fund 4922, the foundation budget. I don't know where the confusion was, but I submitted that, I put it in my budget last year. It's going to be removed for next year, but this is just a renewal. We've had this contract now for 3 years, and it's been very successful. And so I have a contractual line item from the 4922, in which I was hoping to use those funds for this.
And this is the chairs the dispatcher set in
24/7.
24/7.
Yes. And it's been incredibly successful. These chairs sell for anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 a piece. So to have this contract, we have had very responsive vendors. They'll come in if there's a problem that we can't fix on site. They'll send someone here. They're located in South Bend. And we've just had, it has virtually removed chair complaints, which was just kind of an ongoing issue in the center since I've been there.
Well, I can imagine, what's the 11-hour shifts?
Yes.
Setting it some, yeah. All right. Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Thank you. IT Department, Lead Childers Director. We have a service agreement from Comcast for internet services at 3560 Willow Creek Road with a monthly rate of $279.90. The agreement also includes a one-time non-reoccurring charge of $29.95. This will be paid out of the Commissioner's budget. Oh, will it now?
That's what we're asking. So,
Yeah, quickly tell us what this is.
yeah, for this building, this is how our Portage complex receives its internet, through Comcast. It should be noted that last year you paid $376 a month for this contract. And with the new contract, with much higher speeds, you're saving almost $100 a month.
Is that because you negotiated everything down?
That's just because I'm that awesome, yes.
We'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Probably could have done both at the same time. We have a service agreement for internet services at 157 Indiana Avenue, which is this building, with a monthly rate of $336.90. The agreement also includes a one-time non-recurring charge of $66.95. This will be paid out of the Commissioner's budget as well.
Currently, this provides internet service for our guest Wi-Fi system here at the building. The price is going up. Last year, for this contract, you paid $185.75. I was not this awesome this time. But along with wireless, this is going to provide redundancy so that if our NITCO provides our internet for this building, if NITCO were to go down, it would fail over to Comcast, so we wouldn't lose our internet.
Questions by the board? Well, entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval, as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved.
Just
Thank you.
just like in the past, Comcast agreements are executed online. I just need your blessing on the signature.
Well, you got it.
Okay?
All right. Facilities Department, Mr. Wizawati. Seeking approval to proceed with notice to bidders pertaining to the replacement, recover of the roof at the administration building, which is this building. The bids will be due on Tuesday, September 16th, 2025 at 9 a.m.
So as you probably know, Commissioner Higgs, since you've been around for a minute, the roof on this is the original roof that we had on the building. So we did the assessment a while back, we reassessed it, we determined that it's nearing the end of its life. We could probably get a few more years by patching it, but we're starting to get some leaks and failures within the roof. So recommendation is to have it re-roofed or recovered.
Any idea what that cost is going to be?
We do have some estimates based on our analysis of that and just based on some cursory information that we did put together. We're looking at probably about $250,000.
$250,000.
Yeah. To do a re-roof, a complete tear-off, and down to the deck and redo it completely would be closer to $500,000.
Any questions by the board? Entertain a motion. Do we have to approve this, yes?
For the notice to bid.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Go ahead with item 2.
So the next item is an extension of the original professional services agreement with American Structure Point. We had a set point at $5,000. This is extending out for an additional $5,000.
And what is it you have?
This is for basically some engineer review and/or bid specs for the future, because we've already reached that limit.
Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Item 3.
So the next item here is for Ryan Fire Protection. This is for replacement sprinkler heads and other components for the fire extinguishers throughout the county buildings that are listed below. These items were determined deficient in our internal inspections.
Scott, can we do all these together?
Yes.
Continue, please.
So I ask for a motion to approve the proposal from Ryan.
Well, let's read all of them into the minutes and then we'll do them all at the same time.
So for the Memorial Opera House, replacement sprinkler heads and installation valves in the amount of $2,805. 157 Franklin, 5-year internal inspection replacement, gauges, 3-year leak test, installation of 6 test valves and drains, replacement batteries in the panel, 6-year service and 5-year service on the fire extinguishers in the amount of $4,200. On the administration building, 5-year fire sprinkler, flow testing and 6-year service on the fire extinguishers in the amount of $6,185. On the juvenile detention center, perform a 5-year internal inspection on the wet sprinkler system, replacing the sprinkler heads as indicated to cure inspection deficiencies in the amount of $3,935. And on the sheriff's jail, replace sprinkler heads in kitchen that are corroded, replacing loaded paint sprinkler heads as indicated, and adding sprinkler signage where missing. Clearance inspection deficiencies in the amount of $7,975.
Okay. Entertain a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Admin building and garage.
So as you know, we already approved the joint sealants on the building. This would be taking that to the next step of getting the building painted. So we provided 3 quotes to the commissioners for consideration. Our recommendation is Asher Brothers in the amount of $120,500.
What color?
It's going to be the same.
No imagination. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion as well, for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved.
So the next item is for 157 Franklin. There's 3 items that are related to the former restaurant that are on the rooftop. We're going to remove those, replace those with a proper curb and cover those with the EPDM membrane. Our recommendation is total roof construction in the amount of $9,590.
Board will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Thank you, Joe. Have a great day. Development and Stormwater Management, Mr. Jago.
Highway.
I'm sorry, Highway. Is Mr. Blair here?
No.
Oh. Morning, everybody. Morning. He has his younger and smarter replacement. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm here on behalf of Jim Ballard, coming today for approval for replacement trailer, Chesterton. We have one quote from Valpo Trailer for $8,725,000, and one from Hardin's Heavy Equipment for $18,500. I recommend going with Hardin's Heavy Equipment, seems like it's a better trailer.
And it's cheaper.
It is cheap. We have plenty of money in LRS 1169 for other equipment.
Okay. Motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Development and Stormwater Management, Mr. Jago. We have Bridge 150 over Mineral Springs Road, over East Farm, Little Calumet River, extend the bids received date from September 16th to October 7th, 2025.
Yes, at one of the meetings before, we had this today, we'd like to move it out a little bit further as we wrap up acquiring the right-of-way easements.
That's fine. Let's do this real quick. We have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. We have an ordinance for amendment to the Unified Development Ordinance revising Chapter 5 exceptions for barn height, Section 5.20, second reading.
The meeting, the Plan Commission meeting in your first reading, what this ordinance does is it only allows the extended heights for agricultural purposes on the general agricultural A1 and prime agricultural A2 districts.
Yes, it does. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. We have an ordinance for an amendment to the Unified Development Ordinance revising Chapters 2, 5, and 12 to include barn dominiums, second reading.
This also came out of the Plan Commission with a recommendation for approval and was read in a public hearing at your previous meeting.
Okay.
And pretty much outlines, it defines the much larger structures, as far as the smaller structures, barn dominium, barn dough, whatever you want to call it. The rules that are already there only apply. This only affects the ones that are the much larger structures that require speed. They're actually look more like an accessory structure than they function as active living.
Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Approval of plans for County Road 150 over Cobb Ditch, small structure PR-002.
Yes, early in the meeting, you opened up quotes for the materials. This will be allow us to go out to bid. We will have the title sheet for you to approve and sign. We recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. Item 5, a request to advertise for bidding for the structure of County Road 150 south over Cobb Ditch, small structure PR-002. This bid will be opened on Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, at the Board of Commissioners meeting.
This goes along with item number 4. This just gives you clarity on the date.
Okay, so we don't need any kind of motion here. Capco Safe Travels, a quote to purchase in, where's that? Armadillo tractor to replace 2 existing non-functioning department traffic counters for a total cost of $3,415.
Part of our bridge program and certainly our highway program, anytime we go for grants, we have to count roads to the counties. We have a series of traffic counters we use quite extensively. We had some that are no longer able to be repaired. The county highway engineer doing his due diligence, looking at this, on these instruments, which you don't put in the road, you can put them on the side of the road and they'll still do the same function. And come to find out the cost was almost negligible. designed replacements, we'd like to try these for the same, about the same cost, and see how they work, and if they work fine, and they're safer to use, then we'll slowly, as they age, replace the other ones.
Okay. Motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. United Consulting Bridge 132, County Road 200 West over Salt Creek, update and emergency closure and request for tax order to identify options for repair.
As we reported to the Stormwater Board this morning and updated all our bridge projects, as you know, this bridge, about 3 weeks ago, we discovered a failure in one of the beams. So we closed the road immediately, and between the highway department and our office, we continued to do due diligence investigating the cause. And what we found out is that there were 6 box beams underneath the bridge. 3 of them we found were completely scaled when we took the surface off. One was so bad that the pavement was flexing as large loads were going over it, so it was wise to close the road. The remaining 3 box beams are starting to show deterioration as well. Staff has done a lot of investigation with the bridge crew, highway department, and engineering staff to determine that to find a way that we can replace the bridge as expeditiously as possible and get the road open. Otherwise, we'd be waiting over a year going a normal route with the design and permits and everything else. What we need to do is look at the end piers. The piers were originally built in the 1920s, were modified in the 1970s. We believe it could have some structural capability, like we just don't know. We're not structural engineers to make that determination. So United has a as-needed contract with the counties since a few years, and I have a supplement that extends that we could issue a task order for them to help us do the investigation of these piers, see if we can do even a modest repair to those to make it structurally safe, and then we can proceed putting beams on. And quite hopefully, we can get the bridge open yet this year. However, if it does find out that the pier supports are bad, then we'll have to regroup and go out for a full design, which at that time will come and talk to you more. So, I have an on-call, I don't have an exact amount, but I would like to execute their supplemental agreement to their original contract that we've had for years. And then if we could give permission to issue a task order not to exceed $20,000 for at least getting the inspection done, which I think would be more than enough, so you never. Now, if it goes into design, then that's another discussion we'll have. I'll have to bring someone on board to do design and stuff. This is simply at this time just exploratory.
And it has to be done as quickly as possible. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved.
I'm going to ask Chuck Miller, our GIS manager, to come up and help with this one. The next item is a professional service agreement with CloudPoint Geospatial, in the amount of $27,875 for an upgrade of our ArcGIS enterprise system and deployment of an address management solution to be paid 100% from the GIS seed grant, which is the sowing enrichment emergency data. And if you remember a meeting or two ago, we did set up that account in which we can bill against and then receive return credit money from this program. My understanding is there'll be no cost to the county, we just have to front the money to pay the bills and get reimbursed for it. And Chuck's here to explain what this process does.
Sure, yeah, the Indiana Geographic Information Office is offering a non-competing grant to all counties in Indiana, up to $30,000, to improve our emergency management data. So we're taking this money and hiring this company to come in and improve our infrastructure, put in this address management solution, and then through that, we will be able to more efficiently, more accurately improve our address points, address range, street center line data, and those are departments, and that's at no cost.
Entertain a motion. Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion for approval as well as the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. NDOT change order 2 for project B-42833, Bridge 110, County Road 600 East over Crooked Creek. Request contract increase for unstable soil removal and fill in the there's a typo there, but $52,519.45. Total local share is $31,589.18.
Project is usually when we have ADOT funds, federal funds, it's 80/20. There were some items that are not participatory at that 80/20 range, yes, that's why it's a little bit more. The cost is to remove fill that was already in there and then put it into more suitable material. We recommend approval, and we do have the funds to cover those.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. The West Porter Township Fire Protection District, Joe Wizawati. We have a request for an additional appropriation fund number 9995, account number 3120, consultants in the amount of $83,000, funds from fund balance to cover contractual obligations. What would these consultants be consulting about?
Well, it's the way the line item's written. This particular line item is to cover the cost for the contractual services that we have with our current firefighter department. So this is for...
This is for actual fire services?
Yes, that's correct. So the way that there's subcategories of that, so...
Yeah, I don't know who wrote that, but you can't get fire services out of that.
Yeah, and it's a little bit convoluted, but in any event, the $83,000 is to cover the contractual obligation that we do have.
Okay.
The additional, I don't know if you do both of them at the same time, but the next item is for $200. That's for an additional surety bond cost.
We do these at the same time, Scott?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved.
And I wanted just to mention, thank you for the appointment for Mr. Falkowski. He is actually here today. If he would stand up and just, give him...
Thank you, Greg.
There you go.
Yeah, we're lucky to have somebody with that, his level of intelligence and experience.
Yeah.
Good luck. You're going to need it. The carrying place, Dina Duvall. You have a request to use the northeast and northwest corners of the courthouse grounds on Saturday, December 13, 2025, from 11:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. for the first annual holiday cookie walk. Well, we're going to be there. Scott, we'll be there.
Of course, it's on the calendar.
Yeah. Tickets will be sold, and 100% of the proceeds will go to the Caring Place Domestic Violence Shelter in Valparaiso. They will also set up 2 tables.
Yes. There'll be a check-in area, the 2 tables. You'll go to a variety of businesses listed. The ticket purchasers will get a map, a wristband, and each business will provide a holiday treat. It'll be a fun activity. The Valpo events express that there's been an interest from the community, and it obviously will benefit us, so win-win for the community.
Win-win. Can't beat cookies.
How could you? And hot chocolate.
Just have to ask you if the board approves this, which I'm assuming that we will. You work with, you contact Mr. Wizawati, the big guy that just left here.
Okay.
And he'll let him know where you want to set up that table.
Excellent,
Okay.
thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for your patience.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Northwest Indiana Activities, Northwest Indiana Now, Lisa Cottenberger. We your request to use the southeast and southwest corners of the courthouse grounds on Monday, September 1st, from 11:45 until 2:15 p.m. to hold a 5051 or 50501 rally. It will have handheld signs and one table.
Same.
Say, what is this, like the half dozen, how many times have you been in front of us?
At least, probably about a dozen. We're back.
You know, since you were here last time, you know, there's been a couple of videos sent to me. I don't know, I haven't had the opportunity to discuss with the other two commissioners, but people with blowhorns.
Megaphone.
Is that what they are?
Megaphones, yeah.
Megaphones and whistles.
We've taken down the whistles.
Well,
But the megaphone, we do have a megaphone still.
Okay.
And we also have that in part to,
I know why you have it.
I don't need one, so I never use it.
But here's what I would like to ask you, is that I really do think that the businesses in downtown Valpo have been really patient with having, and it's probably not just you.
Oh, believe me, it is not us.
Okay.
It is not just us.
Okay.
Because we have a big problem that we're trying to address with the city of Valpo too. One of the things I wanted to do up here is thank you for making us get that permit, because you saved us at our last rally. Unbeknownst to you, we have a...
So I'm the reason you're out there.
Now, I'm blaming it all on you. No, we had, you saying that we needed the permit to be on the county lawn enabled us to move our people after having walked away from a group of people who are not safe. You allowed us to get back on that grass and they could not follow. And thank you for that, because we tried to walk away from them and the noise that they started and were making. We tried multiple times to get away from them, and any of the officers that were there will tell you that. We are doing our best to be good stewards of the community. We are sending people to businesses downtown to eat after the rallies. I go in and I talk to there are two restaurants specifically that could be affected. One is Blockhead, the other is Perea. This rally is during the day. Blockhead will be open and they're not bothered by it, but it's on Monday, Labor Day. So there's nothing going on in the courthouse. The lawyers aren't open. It's just us.
Going back to my initial concern was in asking you for a favor.
Okay.
Is to leave those megaphones or whatever you're calling them, leave them home.
We need one.
Why?
To address the crowd, they literally just cannot hear us without it.
There's 150 to 200 people up there. They can't be heard. We can't be heard. I mean, as it is, there are people that are having trouble hearing us. We have a group of people, like I just said, who we are trying to get the city to force to be on the other side of the sidewalk, because they intermingle with our people, and they've got at least 3 megaphones. She screams louder than I've ever heard anyone scream, and she screams nonsense.
Yeah, and we've been getting the permits, so we could have, be on the grass, be on the sidewalk, have the megaphones, things like that. They don't have permits, and they're showing up with megaphones and louder than 200 of us with megaphones.
You say them.
There is a family of 4 people. And then, James is always there, but
yeah, it's one
he
thing
has
that
to
keeps
stay
coming
across
every
the
week,
street.
and every week they're escalating a little further. And last event we had, she showed up with a megaphone, and
her father had a megaphone, the other guy had a megaphone. And I mean, they are screaming in.
I really feel sorry for the people who go down there and shop or to eat.
Well, that's why you got us
businesses
on
are
the south
offering.
side, because
Well,
there aren't as many businesses
well,
over there, and we're not really affecting it like we would
Well,
on the north side.
when you have something electronic that where you can blast out, what you're yelling or saying, it's just, they're hammered across.
Truly, Jim, it's not what I would like to do. I'd rather we didn't have to have one. I truly would. It's insane, to see. It's not rational, and I can show you some of the videos.
Well, Deb, you've been a joy to deal with, okay? You've been fine.
Would you
Okay,
post that somewhere?
All the reason that I'm bringing this up to you.
And I understand, and I'll do the best I can.
Be the example, not,
My question to you would be, if we're being told to, ease up on the megaphone, leave them home or whatever, what happens if they show up with a megaphone?
oh, well,
Nobody's telling them.
I will actually I will speak to the sheriff's department about this.
Because
that has been
We
one of
have to
our...
have a permit to be out there.
Right, well, let's see, that's been one of our concerns, because we go to the sheriffs and the police people that are out there, and they've been wonderful, but they don't know what to...
Yeah, they just keep saying
They're
there's
like,
nothing they can do.
we can't violate the First Amendment right. And I'm like, well, we had to get a permit, why don't they have to get a
And meanwhile,
permit?
this girl's chasing us down the street,
And I
screaming out
agree.
with the megaphone.
I agree.
You
But
know,
again, just worry about yourselves. Be the example.
we try.
As long as
I mean,
you're gonna be out
Because we didn't move our crowd to the other side to get away from the girl with the megaphone, and she immediately followed, so then we moved everybody up in the grass, and
And like I say, that was beneficial, because we could move people into the grass, and I explained to one of the sheriff's guys.
All right, I'll speak with them. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved.
And we'll do our best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all we ask. Thank you. Porter Township Fire, Adam Wallace, we get a request for permission to close 325 South to 400 South on State Road 49 for the annual Malden Labor Day Parade on Monday, September 1st, from 12 p.m. until 1 p.m. The Porter County Sheriff's Department will assist with traffic control. Is Adam here?
He's not here.
Okay. Well, we do this every year, so.
I move that we approve.
Second.
We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved. That's that. Into the agenda. Okay, any other matter which may properly come before the Board of Commissioners? Yes, Mr. Jacob. Yes, that's right, you were going to come back to this.
Yes, I was. Having looked at the proposal for bids received for the County Road 150 south over Cobb Creek, small structure PR 002, having received a bid from McCann, MCCANN Concrete Products in the amount of $92,480.00. Our department recommends approval.
I move that we approve.
Second. We have a motion for approval as well as a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Any other matter which may properly come before the Board of Commissioners? State your name and your address. You don't have to give your address, just that you're...
Joe Sparks, 432 West 100 North, Valparaiso. I do have a question about the approval that you gave for the barn dominium issue. Did any of the codes, setback requirements that was in the first reading that I objected to, was any of that addressed? Is it still 100-foot setbacks on the sides of the lots? So that people like me that have a 5-acre lot can't build a barn dominium in the middle of our lot?
You want to address that, Mike? Speaking for myself, Joe, I went on the recommendation of the Plan Commission.
The ordinance stays the same as it was originally presented. What is also in there that remains the same is anybody who has different conditions can still appear before the BCA to get their approvals.
So there can be a variance
There is a variance process,
if there's
yes.
circumstances that are similar to yours.
Well, I just find it, you know, that it's a little bit ridiculous when you've got that. I mean, to me, I addressed the issue, and nobody addressed my objection to the setback requirements based on, you know, what was being said. You know, I have a 160-foot wide lot, 5 acres deep lot, and I can't build a barn dominium in the middle of my lot based on the fact that there's 100-foot setback requirements on the sides.
I think what Mr. Jago was saying is that there is exceptions that can be made if they're brought to the board.
I mean, to me, I just want everybody here to know that you didn't address anything other than accepted exactly what he said, and knowing that those setback requirements make it impossible for a person like me, without coming in and asking for a variance on something that I shouldn't have to ask for a variance on.
Joe, I did have a conversation with Mr. Jago after our last meeting, because I was trying to understand to see if there was a way that we could take into consideration some of those sorts of things. And I think Mr. Jago was saying that it's so hard to know the different exceptions and to try to, you know, to cover all of them in an ordinance, is why he had recommended to me that we leave the ordinance as is, because we have the process of the BZA. And I'm sure there's other people that have an unusual situation with their property as well. And it's impossible for them to anticipate what those might be.
Well, sure it is. Sure it is. I mean, basically, if you have less than so many acres and your lot's, you know, under a certain width or in depth and all that kind of stuff, you can set it. But to say I have to have a 100-foot setback on both sides of my lot, and I'm 165-foot wide, 5 acres deep, that seems a little bit excessive. But, you know, you've heard my voice, and you've already approved it, so there's nothing I can do about it now. So, but I want everybody here to know that that's ridiculous. Even if I had a 10-acre lot that was skinny, I wouldn't be able to build what he has asked for.
Well, if you could figure out a way we could write our ordinances to specifically address every single lot in this county, regardless of its size.
I could. There wasn't a whole lot of thought when it was.
Well, that ordinance was studied for 6 months.
That was 6 months of wasted effort.
Well, that's your opinion, Joe.
No, that's definitely.
Well, I think that the people we have up in that office are pretty bright, so, thank you. Thank you for your comment. Anybody else would like to make a comment? Yes, sir.
Kevin Ryrie, 336 North, 375 West. I'll be brief. Thank you all sincerely for your roles throughout the process regarding the Union Township Data Center. I don't envy the position that any of you have been put in. Commissioner Regnitz, thank you for your outspoken support with residents from the beginning. Commissioner Morales, thank you for making the time to speak with me after hours on several occasions regarding my concerns. And Commissioner Biggs, thank you for your leadership and commitment to respect not only the legal process, but the concerns of your county's residents throughout this entire journey. Porter County, and specifically Union Township, has been and will continue to be a great place to live, and I greatly look forward to raising my family.
Thank you, Kevin.
Mayor Brown, President Eisenwald, Porter County. There are 2 other counties on either side of us. They're going through the same thing. They have not had transparency, even belated, because of the conditions in Porter County. It would be applauded that you are looking with clear eyes to the monolith that's happening all over the state. This was our 4th battle. We came in neutral. I'm just neutral today. We're neutral until we aren't. And it became obvious that they were trying to do a rollover. Somebody has to be an advocate. But all we do is spur the local neighborhoods. Without the neighborhoods, it's a waste of time. So even though there's a lot of fluff good and bad, that you have to deal with. The basic premise is, be straight with the people, they'll always be at your back. Always vote for the people, especially when it involves health. And I thank you, as Isaac Bolton, and I thank these people for bearing through, but be aware, if the state decides to overcome county ordinances and county commissioners, we don't know.
We're aware of that, and
It's a
actually...
whole different world.
Yeah, we're aware of that, and actually, speaking for myself, that has been a constant annoyance, that we've had to stop what we're doing here, and even looking at this particular project, and address, some rogue state, bill, written by, local state officials, supported by local state officials, to keep that from happening out here. We had to pass a resolution, I believe it was, and, to condemn the bill, and which I don't understand. I don't know why a state lawmaker would do that. You're down there to represent your constituencies up here. Why you would do that without any consulting any of the elected officials, or much less the residents, and just, haphazardly write something like that I could have told you was going to fail. But my fear is that there is going to be a mounting support for a law like that, and that to me just changes everything. If you take
We're the
that-
only county in Indiana, the only county, not now, we're the only county that installed 4 of these, and yet they still have this GenCo thing where a monopoly utility can do whatever they want without public eyes. That is untenable. That is totally untenable. So I wish you well. I wish you well trying to figure that out, and have your binoculars and have your warning buzzers ready.
I hope that,
It's a different world.
my wish was, taking as much care as I did writing that, at least I tried. I'm not William Shakespeare, by anybody's imagination, is to just send the message. Look, we're not anti-data center here in Porter County, but there's
We aren't either.
just like grocery stores, just like gas stations or anything else, they have their place. And I don't believe that if you can't communicate with me why we should be able to build, like in Union Township, this particular proposed structure. If you can't communicate to me why I should be supporting it, why it's a good thing for Porter County, you're not going to get our support. These buildings, and that's all I've heard, we need them. Okay, all right. But they have their own place. There's only certain places they belong. And to come into it, whether it's Union Township or any other township, and it's really the way that this, my stance on solar has been, you don't have the right to come in and change the entire makeup of an entire township to open up your business, whether we need it or not. You just don't have that right. You have to sell us on it, that we want to be in this particular location, here's why, and here's how we're all going to benefit from it. If you can't communicate that with us, head on down the road. There's 92 counties in this state. Anyway.
It won't go away. You'll be coming back.
No, we're not going anywhere either.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, everybody, good morning. Amy Ketchum, Union Township. I just wanted to say thank you, that's all. It's really thank you. I know that it takes a lot of hard work and confidence in this county, confidence in you all to be able to send a $1 trillion company packing. So just know that we are very appreciative of that. And then looking, down the road, or a couple weeks ago, I should say, I do also want to commend you for standing up. I don't know, this is weird. Standing up for Mayor Bonta and everything that he was speaking out against the NIPSCO rate hike. It's my understanding that some of you, or maybe all of you, were at that meeting when it was discussed, so thank you for doing that as well. I'd also like to maybe offer a recommendation for a resolution to be considered against the NIPSCO rate hikes as well. I can tell you that I live in a 2,200 square foot house and my bill doubled. And it has stayed that way even though the temperature outside has come down. So as you all know, this is all interconnected from the Willow Creek extension to Blackstone to GPS to NIPSCO to Genco. All of that is interconnected. And like I said, I just wanted to say I really appreciate you guys taking a look at this down deep and not putting the money or so-called money that we're supposed to get in front of us as constituents. So you're more than welcome to all put a campaign sign in my yard after this too. So my yard is open. But thank you again.
Yeah, I'm not running for anything. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Lee Martin, Superintendent of Union Township Schools.
How's it going? It's your first year.
Yeah, it's going.
I don't know if any gray hairs yet, so.
No, not yet,
All
not
right.
yet. All right, I just want to thank you again also on behalf of Union Township students, the students that we serve, for hearing our community, our families' opposition to the data centers, for your comments this afternoon or morning, and a huge shout out to our community for showing how strong just that we are and how much we believe in our Bearcat.
Your community is indeed strong.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Thank you very much.
Quickly, I'm hungry.
I want to thank you too. It's like, I have your name, Susan Leahy, and I live in Union Township, right behind where it was. Anyway, you're going to have a lot of people having better night's sleep now that you've made this decision. I thank you very much, and I thank you for all I've learned about county government, because I have never been involved. But I do have two questions. Will the zoning be changed at all? Will it still be what it is now, or will there be industrial?
Let me make something clear. You may misinterpret at least a portion of what I said, was this. QTS still has the right to continue with their application, okay? I'm not saying you're not going to get you're not going to get your application in front of us. We're not going to consider it. We're not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this. I spent the better part of going on 11 months dealing with them. In my opinion, the communication has been horrid. Because of that, it has caused dissension within our county, especially in the community of Wheeler. And that is manifested, like I said, it's manifested into rumors, just outrageous accusations. I think there was even an accusation that Commissioner Morales and I were taking donations from, various power companies, and which couldn't be further from the truth. What I'm telling them is this: I've moved on. I think Commissioner Morales will tell you the same thing. He's moved on. I don't need to be hit over the head with a hammer to know it would hurt, okay? You've had your time. We've given you nearly a year to make your case. You've lost me. And as much as they may not want to hear it, is that it is not our job to convince the residents, whether it was Union Township or any other township, you should support this project. That is their job. And they failed at it terribly. And they've had that opportunity. And early on, our planning department made that recommendation that they reach out to you and meet with you. And so you could discuss, they could tell you what they were and what they weren't. They ignored it. It took them 2 months to get back to us after the expo meeting to let us, to hear their, to respond on that information. That's inexcusable. That is, if it were approved, is the biggest economic development project since the Bethlehem Steel initially came into this county. It's huge, 750 acres. It's a big deal. Now, I'm sure they do this all over the country, but we've never done it here. So, and they were warned, and I warned them when I met with them in December. And when they, and it just seemed like, going one ear out here, they were going to do what they were going to do. That's too bad. That's too bad. Because I personally have no problem with a data center coming into this county if it's put in the right location. But it shouldn't disrupt an entire township in order to do that. If it costs them a little bit more money to bring whatever power to them in order to operate, it's the price of business. I'm not taking that obligation and putting it on the laps of our residents. Well, they got to be here because they're close to the power. But the real nail in the coffin was the announcement that their owners had bought a significant portion of NIPSCO. I can't explain that away. I don't understand it, and it's not my job to explain it to the residents. But I've lived long enough. I'm 68 years old. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, it typically is a duck. So that to me was a deal breaker. And I have that right as an elected official to come out and say that. They're still entitled to go through the process. Please do if you'd like. But I've moved on, so.
Thank you.
Anyway.
I don't know if you're the right people to ask, but you can tell me who to go to. I was wondering, we have that landfill in Wheeler, a landfill in Valpo that are closed. Does anybody check on them to make sure that they're not leaking or anything? Who would I ask?
It asked Mr. Jabo, that the planning department. Okay? All right. Yes, sir.
Morning. My name is Adele Darhan. I'm owner of a company called The Firm, and we are based out of Portage, Indiana. We're a licensed general contractor that specializes in fire damage restoration and board-up services. We've been in business for 8 years, and we're proudly based here out of Portage. Over the past year, my team and I have worked with the city of Portage to address a serious issue. There was no fair or transparent system for assigning emergency board-up work after fires. For years, this work has been funneled to a single outside company, shutting out qualified local businesses. After months of discussion with the city, they recognized that the system was unfair and not in the public's best interest. As a result, Portage passed an ordinance for a rotating list of qualified contractors. This list was modeled after a rotation list already used by police departments for towing permits. Today, I'm asking Portage County to take a similar action. Right now, outside of Portage, the only company receiving board calls is 1-800-BOARD-UP, not based out of Portage County. This has created a monopoly, a term that we've heard a lot today, leaving long-standing local contractors like us without a fair opportunity to serve and leaving residents with no real choice. By adopting a countywide rotation that's administered through E911, we would essentially initiate a fair, transparent system that's accountable and in the best interest of the public. We are not asking for special treatment. We are asking for fairness and competition. The same principles that already exist in other public safety systems. The competition lowers costs, improves services, and ensures that Portage County residents are served by professionals who live, work in their own communities, not outside companies. I respectfully urge the Commission to move forward with a countywide ordinance that creates a fair, transparent board-up list of Portage County. I have some documents of essentially what we've provided the city of Portage on kind of what their ordinance is and how they based it, and the information about what is currently going on.
You could leave those with us. I didn't catch your first name.
Nidell.
Nidell?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nidell, why don't you allow the commissioners to take in this information and then also speak with our legal counsel to see what we need, because I don't want to take what we think is a story and bleed it off into somebody else's responsibility. In other words, I don't want to get somebody upset with us because we've overstepped our authority. We'll take a look at it. And if it's something that we can do and we decide we should do, and we should probably have an answer by our next meeting.
Sure. And one of the documents in there is essentially, kind of over the last year, what we went through with Portage, right? Starting with, going to the fire department administration, and then working our way around, right? And then ultimately coming back to the right hands, right? So I mean, Deborah Gunn is very aware of the situation, and on how things are done, and then the appropriate ways to get there.
Yeah. Okay, well, if we can consider this, and the board believes that it should consider it, we'll do something. Okay? All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Cheryl Johnson from Union Township, and I've been up here several times before. I do want to appreciate and thank you for allowing us to have unlimited time versus keeping up with a lot of the data center, as you see on Facebook, where they're given 1 or 2 minutes, and they have to stop. And I won't take your time, but I appreciate that you've allowed me to speak these several meetings. I have just a few questions. First one is, why haven't QTS and Blackstone been given a deadline? Why wasn't it said on May 1st, offer it, it comes or goes? I don't know, it's going to continue. And secondly, I have to address Mr. Jago, excuse my dad. This, I don't know what you call it, this offering that they just recently made, that was made public, addressed a few weeks ago or so, that contract came in, and if it wasn't for all the red marks that you made on it, it wasn't acceptable. So why wasn't it just denied? But it's almost like they made an offer, kind of like with a house. Someone offers me money on a house. I really want to sell it, but it's not good enough. So you added notation. In other words, here, do this, and it'll be acceptable.
Cheryl?
Yes.
I think that conversation is more appropriate between you and Mr. Jago.
Well,
he did what he did because he's working within our ordinance.
all right, I understand.
And you're not given, or a petitioner's not given a deadline. Okay?
There's no deadline.
No.
All right.
So, but I encourage you, he'll give you time.
Okay. I just want to make everyone aware of it. And one thing, and I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but that letter that is public, on there, I believe it did say that this area is now called light industrial. And I also know on there was, back at the meeting, at the end of May, when we had the town hall meeting that you were president at, the representatives from QTS said that the gentleman, whoever, said that the setback for the school, instead of originally a few hundred feet, they would make it 2,000 feet. But if you do look at this public letter, they proposed 500 feet. And Mr. Jacob, you did say it needs to be bigger, but already QTS is changing the rule book. Everything's changing. And one thing I'd like to address, and maybe it's not been brought up, but a magnitude giant building like this is going to take a lot of diesel generator backup. And these diesel generators are the size of train cars. They use diesel fuel. Now, if you have 350, which I figured out is approximately that would cover this mega data center, they have to be cycled. As everybody's generator that you have, our neighbor once a week, 5 minutes. If you're at run, it turns off because they have to make sure they're maintained. Well, if you have 350 of these that are located behind the school where children attend, go out for recess, enjoy the park, enjoy football, baseball, that means that every day, at least 50 of these generators have to go through a cycle. So, over a week, now it's not just going to be a week, it's going to be every day for probably 10 years, Like that area where the children are is going to be exposed to whatever time the cyclone is. You haven't even been told what the cyclone is. 5 minutes, is it 10 minutes? So 50 diesel generators going off at one time, that's got to be a lot of toxic fumes. And the way the wind blows is usually from the north, and that's where
Well, let
it's part
Cheryl-
of the school.
Cheryl, if that were the case, if assuming you're right, that all that sort of thing would be discussed during the planning process, okay? So
And when was it,
if they decide to move forward after hearing this, they would contact Mr. Jago and ask for a date to come before the planning commission. Am I correct, Mike? Okay, which they have not, so.
So that would be brought up? All right. And I'm a retired pediatric nurse, and kids are my blood. I give my life for a child. I don't want a data center, CPS, or Blackstone making our students in
We
Union
get it.
Township work with
We get it. Okay?
I'm glad you understand, and I do hope and pray that you fight against it. Thank you.
Is that it, folks?
I have a question.
Of course.
Do I have to come?
Yes, you do. Think you're special? Now, come on.
No, but crippled, yes.
You didn't say that. But I brought the
I'm standing
microphone.
up, so that's okay. I've heard or read
Excuse me.
that there's another
Your name,
Spencer.
Yeah, ma'am,
I live
ma'am.
on 149 in Valparaiso,
Okay.
actually, out that way. And I've heard, are you connected over at Willow Creek and 700?
What do you mean connected?
Do you take care of that area too?
Willow Creek and Central Avenue?
No.
700. 700.
700 and Willow Creek.
The south side of 700 North is the responsibility of the Board of Commissioners or the County Highway Department, and south of that road is
Okay.
unincorporated area.
Because here we go, it's a rumor that I've only read once, that they're proposing a data center over there.
Well, I'm not going to address the rumor. I have not had a single person text me, email me,
Well, that was
telephone
my
me.
question.
No.
Is that just something that someone's putting out to stir up something?
Who knows? I'm just telling you, we have not,
Okay.
there's been nobody reaching out to us that I'm aware of. Now, that's not to say that they might. They might. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, this was an absolute learning experience for this board. So, as I stated you're going to come to us, and you're going to ask for something as big as a data center to be placed in this county, you better come with your A game.
We can have that
Well,
that night.
yeah, I'm just saying, we don't know, but I'm certain this isn't the last we've heard about somebody wanting to come in and construct the data center in our county. Okay? All right, thank you. That it, folks?